It is Teleforum. It's one of my favorite times of the week. Couple reasons. I like my next guest, and my next guest talks long enough where I generally don't have to say that much. Scott Tady of the Beaver County Times. How are you, sir?
Doing well, Eddie. How are you?
I'm living the dreams. This is dreams, plural. This is being live streamed. If you'd like to watch Scott in all his glory, go to our Facebook page. If you've got comments for Scott, put them on the comment. I'm throwing you under the bus.
I was not warned of this.
Yeah. Open phones. Mess with Tady. I got plenty to talk to you about.
Dude, I got to brag, though. I just interviewed, literally 45 minutes ago, one of your absolute favorite, the lyricist for one of your absolute favorite bands.
One of mine.
I think the show you're most looking forward to seeing this year. I just interviewed.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Is it the Cowboy Junkie show?
Yes. Michael Timmons. I just chatted with the lyricist.
And his sister.
Margot
sings, and Michael, it's a brother and sister act, Canadian,
and
been around since the 80s.
Another band member is a brother, too.
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew that he wrote, and I knew that she sang, and still one of my all-time favorites. And when it comes up on, I'm going to sound old, I still rock an iPod.
That's fine.
When I put it on shuffle and a Cowboy Junkie song. I always felt bad for them because the name of the title makes them sound harsher or more gloomy than it's a beautiful, beautiful band. The music is phenomenal. I love Cowboy Junkies because Cheap Is How I Feel is still one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, we didn't have words like Americana or lo-fi back then to describe their style of music. And I got to ask him about that.
There was no AAA, Adult Album Alternative, that didn't exist. What did they say?
He said there's a new song by The National that actually mentions Cowboy Junkies in the lyrics, so he's excited about that. And he said, yeah, we do feel like we kind of blazed a bit of a trail.
Oh, they absolutely did. All you knew when that band came out, and there were a few like that. There was a lot of stuff on 4AD that was really tough to categorize. It was beautiful, and it was dark, and it was gloomy, and it was melodic. It wasn't heavy, but they got stuck in the alternative music vibe because there was nowhere else to put them.
Right.
And they weren't really alternative music. I guess Americana needed to come up as a category because when you would say alternative and you'd put on a Cowboy Junkies record and then you'd continue alternative and put on Look Sharp by Joe Jackson.
Big difference.
Very different music. Both brilliant, but very different. Was he cool? Because Canadians are so polite.
Oh, my goodness. Super cool. It only took about 7 minutes for a hockey reference to come up.
Beauty, eh? Oh, don't bring that up today.
He did mention, he dropped a Paul Coffey reference.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, old school.
That's relatable. That's back when they were making the playoffs.
That's interesting. The Penguins not in the playoffs. I was trying to think, who does this benefit? Anyone. And the only ones I can think of are local bands because you talk to local bands when the Penguins are running deep in the playoffs, that affects their schedule. When they're scheduled to play at 9:30 at the Falston Bar, but people are watching the game, and you're just kind of sitting there waiting for the intermission to squeeze in a half-hour music. So that's the only people I can think of that'll.
As long as they still get paid what they were agreed to get paid.
True, but
as long as they don't get stiffed, okay. Then that'd be double bad. Well, talking about the old. Remember when the Penguins made the playoffs? Get all sentimental. I wanted to ask you because I've got a little bit of a memory, but I have a secondhand memory. People referencing. I don't remember it firsthand. Lou Pappin.
Yeah, just passed away a couple of days ago. I got a story. I got to write the story about that, and it's been so touching. The number of people that have stepped up and said, "Love the guy. He was so kind to me, so generous. He would give out silver dollars to kids he would see at the restaurant." His commercials were iconic, and it's one of those deals where everyone in Pittsburgh claimed him, but he was Beaver Falls, true and true. Just the thing, interviewing his son that stood out to me the most, he came here, grew up in war-torn Greece, all right? The Nazi-occupied Greece. Right after that, Greece had its civil war, so he lived poor conditions. Came to America, that's a classic story, just the clothes on his back. His uncle had a bar in Beaver Falls, steel mill bar. He started working there.
Put him to work.
First day he got here. He finally opened his first business, and he bought a former candy shop. It was called the Sweet Stop. He didn't have enough money to change the name of the sign. So even though he opened a hot dog and hamburger joint, he kept calling it the Sweet Shop because he couldn't afford it.
That's cutting it thin. You got just enough money to get the deal done, and you're so That's guts, man.
And he ended up running a restaurant empire with 30 Pappin's restaurants and another 30 or 40 Roy Rogers. So it just shows the hard work, and that's a story we love. Someone who is diligence, his hard work, and he seemed to offend nobody. Every single person has a story about how wonderful he was. So You know, it's really sad to see him go, but I'm glad he's getting the recognition. And those commercials were iconic. You would watch on TV and "you gonna like it" was just a catchphrase, and it came right here from Beaver Falls.
The two things I got referenced when I came to Western PA in the mid '90s: "You gonna like it" and "chicken, chicken, chicken."
And there was a time, I think it was '88, the Pittsburgh Pirates were trying to break the 1 million attendance mark, and they were like 40,000 short. So they put out a call. Lou Pappin volunteered. I'll feed everyone after the game if they come up. You know, of course, it's sold out. They made the 1 million mark. It cost him like 40,000 of his own money to pay that. But he's like, I'd rather, you know, I don't care about being rich. I just want to be good to people.
The impression I got, I posted the story, and a lot of people read the story, but hearing from old-time lifer people, the impression I got about him was he made the world a better place at every turn for everyone around him.
There you go. Those are gems.
I'd take that eulogy every time, because isn't that the point, Scott? Don't you want to, on your deathbed, look back and go, I want a cheeseburger, and then after that look back and go, the world is better because I was here.
That would have made it all worthwhile. Yes.
Yeah. Everything I heard about Lou Pappin. I got told about handing silver dollars out to the kids. I got told about
the Brady's Run Park thing. He would have a breakfast or a lunch for senior citizens, and 9,000 to 20,000 senior citizens would show up and get their free food. Yeah,
I heard him talking about sponsoring people to bring them over to the States.
Oh, wow.
I mean, life-changing decisions that guy helped people make. Absolutely. I felt like I knew him after some of the stories I got told. You mentioned Brady's Run. We'll get to that in a minute. First things first. Is Mario's Dockside now Mario's 410 Grill?
And it is open. It is now where Thursdays used to be. It opened. They had a soft opening last week, but as of this Tuesday, you can go there and get a meal. And they have their first entertainment this weekend tonight. David Granati doing his weekly jam. They used to do down at Mario's Dockside in Bridgewater. But now it's 1.2 miles to the whatever direction, to the east, I guess. And it's now where Thursdays used to be. It's called Mario's 410 Grill. Mario Fratangeli, the co-owner with his daughter, they redid the whole design. If you remember, you'd walk into Thursdays, you had to like walk up a little flight of steps to get to the bar. It's all one level now. They're going to go heavy on music. Tomorrow night is Blues Attack. Great blues band. Used to be Joe West's backing band.
Back in the day, Joe West and Blues Attack.
Amazing band. They represented us in the Memphis Blues Challenge. They're hoping to get the Clarks, since early 90s, the Clarks have been playing at what used to be Thursdays. They said, we're on board. We'd love to go back there under the new ownership, the new name. So things are looking good. And El Dorado Band is there this Saturday. That's one of the most popular country rock bands Beaver Valley's ever produced. So good to see new life in Bridgewater. But already where Mario's Dockside used to be someone's taken over there. It's called Bingham's. It's a sports bar. It's on Mount Washington now. They're opening a new location. It'll be in Bridgewater. They specialize in wings. I think Pittsburgh Magazine has them as a finalist for the best wings in Pittsburgh. So
cool.
Things happening in Bridgewater.
1230 WBVP 1460 WNBA 99.3 FM 95.7 FM. Talking to Scott Tady, the entertainment editor for the Beaver County Times. It's news and notes on entertainment. I'm going to ask you a question, and even if you know the answer, you might not answer. Okay?
I'm braced.
Ballpark figure, when the Clarks do a show, what do you think that gig pays? And compare and contrast that to Donnie Iris, because both of them, and I got nothing but great things to say about anybody involved with either, okay? They go out on their summer county fair tours. That's got to be a pretty good chunk of change, because if you're the Fayette County Fair, you got to get the Clarks, because the Clarks sang about you.
Yes, they did.
And if you got to get me, I'm going to charge you a fairly decent penny.
Well, I can break it down this way. The former Thursdays we mentioned, they would charge $20 for tickets, and they would sell, when the Clarks played outside, up to 800 tickets, usually more like around 600. So do the math on, let's say, 600 times 20. That's how much.
$12,000.
The bar was making just in sale. Or no, the band would probably, I don't know. That's one of the shows. Maybe the band gets that money and the bar gets the beer money.
We get the tickets, you get the beer.
That'd be my guess. So
and if you're the Clarks, you're big enough where you can get away with saying this is our deal. If you don't want it, that's cool.
So $12,000. The band, it used to be a 4-member. Now it's expanded to about 6. But you're making $2,000 for a night of work doing something fun. I could deal with that.
And just because I know every year Donnie Iris would go out, and I'm thinking, man, that's got to be several $1,000s. And I'm not judging. Donnie Iris is playing at your place. You're going to make several $1,000s. People are going to show up.
We saw with him his show he did in Moon Township. The Cruisers, his backing band, they're scattered all over the country. One guy flew in from California. One guy came in from North Carolina. So that's the reason they don't do 15 shows a year. So it's a special event when Donnie Iris and the Cruisers do a show.
There is a show coming up, and I want to ask your thoughts about it. My first reaction was, this is cool. My second reaction was, You dig Dream Theater?
I admire their musicianship. I saw them once live.
Exactly.
I was liking it, but the people around me were on a plane higher than me, and I don't mean caused by drugs or anything. I just mean they were loving every single nuance. Their Dream Theater's fabulous musicians. This is a progressive rock band. Virtuosos down the line, but the song structure doesn't have the catchiness to me that a band like Yes did or Genesis or. But I'll go.
It's a prog rock band.
Right.
That's the best way to describe it. They remind me, I had a roommate that, you remember Marillion?
Yes. The singer was named Fish.
Is that who? Okay. They remind me of that, and it's like, this is really cool, but do you think society has the attention span to listen to a 9-minute song?
It's the people who like it really like it, though. That's the thing. It's not going to be on the charts. It's not going to be in commercials, but there's a hardcore base that will travel to Montreal to see these bands. That's where Marillion's from. So it'll do well. The show we're talking about, Dream Theater, is playing Wild Things Stadium, where the Washington County minor league baseball team plays. So
great facility.
That is. And what's that hold? About 4,000, I'm going to guess, for a concert?
At most, but it's a
3.
wonderful facility.
Yeah, I saw Ray Wiley Hubbard there once. That crazy country, alt country kind of guy. Texas singer.
Yeah.
Has a big song, Snake Form.
That worked out well for him. He was in a field. He felt at home.
Yeah. But, so I have a story about that. Dream Theater playing Devin Townsend, very popular if you're into progressive rock. No, I never liked the term progressive rock. I got to be honest. I liked it better when it's called art rock. That made more sense to me. Progressive, that sounds heavy. And then when you shorten it to prog rock, it sounds dinosaurish or science fiction-ish too much.
Is Rush prog rock?
Definitely.
You think so?
Yeah. But again,
why? Because of Temples of Syrinx? Because later on they shortened some of their stuff. I think
they
that's
one song that's 20 minutes and 12 seconds long.
The live version of just play All the World's a Stage. It's one song, really. Yeah. Is that a good thing? If you want to go out, let me rephrase my stupid question. You want to form a band and you want to be popular. That's it. I'm not talking about genre. I'm not talking about, the covers you do. Is prog rock the way you would go? Because you said it. The people that dig it really dig it. But most people don't have the attention span.
You'd have to have devoted musicians because it's not easy. Like if your drummer quits, you can't just hire the next drummer. You can't just place an ad in the paper.
It ain't 4/4 time, have a seat. No, it's not.
Yes.
Like working for Zappa. Before you could be in the band, you had to rehearse like 1,000 hours just to know what was going on.
Yeah, he hired Steve Vai just to make sound effects. Steve Vai, one of the great guitarists. Just make some cool noises on guitar, Steve. That's what Frank Zappa
now,
told
do you
me.
know how he started before they let Steve make goofy sounds?
How?
He was Zappa's transcriptionist.
That's right.
Zappa would play stuff, and it was Steve's job
to write it down,
to score it out so the rest of the band would know what was going on.
Which probably what 1 out of every 8 million people can do.
There was a reason the band members and the mothers of invention rotated in and out. Not just skill. There was some crazy too. Yeah. Scott Tady is my guest. It's Beaver County Radio. More after this break. It's good. Commercials are good. That's how we pay for Tady.
Thank you for listening to the Best of Beaver County. St. Barnabas is pleased to have provided content and sponsorship
Lincoln
for the
Park
program.
Performing Arts Center in Midland presents the classic Golden Age musical An American in Paris, April 28th through May 7th. Sponsored by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Tickets start at just $18 at LincolnParkArts.org.
After a 3-year hiatus, the 43rd annual Beaver County Maple Syrup and Music Festival is back and better than ever. It's all happening on Saturday and Sunday, April the 22nd and 23rd at the Lodge in Brady's Run Park, just off Route 51 in Brayton Township. While the star of the show is the scrumptious Pennsylvania maple syrup drizzled over all-you-can-eat homemade pancakes, there will also be live music with numerous crafters and vendors. New this year is gluten-free pancakes. Tickets, including made-from-scratch pancakes and sausage, are just $15 for adults, $10 for kids under 12, and seniors, military, and first responders is just $12. There will also be Pennsylvania 100% pure maple syrup for sale, along with buckwheat and cornmeal flour. The 43rd Annual Beaver County Maple Syrup Festival is being presented by Push Beaver County. Make sure you plan to come out to the 43rd Annual Beaver County Maple Syrup Festival from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, April 22nd and 23rd at the Lodge in Brady's Run Park. Check out the festival Facebook page for a schedule of events.
Hey, it's the Beaver Valley Community Concert Association proudly announcing this 2022-2023 remaining season. Show number 4, Chester Gregory, Tribute to Jackie Wilson and Friends, Thursday, April 20th, 2023 at 7:30 p.m. And show number 5, Through the Years with the Kenny Rogers Band, featuring Donnie Gatlin. Wednesday, May 3, 2023 at 7:30 p.m. Concerts held at the Beaver Falls Middle School Auditorium. For more information, contact Peggy McCullough at 724-846-3203. That's 724-846-3203. Please visit our website, www.bvcommunityconcert.org. Use your season subscription or purchase a ticket at the door for adults for $25 or students $5. That's the Beaver Valley Community Concert Association.
The warm weather is back, and that can only mean one thing. Pirates baseball for a 75th season on Beaver County Radio. Tune in and listen to the Pirates Radio Network broadcast team as they take you through every pitch, hit, and out of the 2023 baseball season. Make sure you set your radio dial to WBVP WMBA 99.3 FM or 95.7 FM for all the action. Pirates baseball is being presented locally by the St. Barnabas Health System, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Falcone's Moon Township Board, Keystone Wellness Program, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, and Beaver County Radio, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA.
It's the place that makes your ears happy. The sound of a Beaver County radio broadcast live from the St. Barnabas Studios at 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge.
Scott Tady is my guest. I turned your mic on and not mine.
Well, that's all we need.
You know what? I don't necessarily disagree with that. Scott Tady is my guest from the Beaver County Times, talking about shows coming up. And before we run out of time, make sure we give credit where credit is due. We have a mutual friend who is a dear friend of the station who has a gig with the Buccos. Is the gig to replace the guy that broke his ankle? That's the first question. Is he taking over for Cruz? Talking about Nick.
Yeah, Nick Ziegler, Monaco, native of Beaver County guy through and through. He plays in the California band 4019s. They're going to be on the Pirates postgame show tomorrow night. I don't know if they're playing their video, their song, but they've had their music on there before. So if you want to feel proud of a Monaco guy and his music, watch the Buccos win again. And I don't know if he does play shortstop, Nick, but he's a drummer, so he's got to have good timing. So.
Bring your glove just in case. Do that. I love hearing from Nick. Nick lives in California. We hear from him all the time. He pays attention to what we're doing. When a nice guy does that and stays engaged with his hometown community, you feel better about that.
I see Rhonda Ficca is also watching us on Facebook. She books those great concerts at the Beaver Valley Community Concert Association. The Kenny Rogers Show coming up. Kenny Rogers' band. Guys that played with him for 26 years are coming to Beaver Falls.
Can she play shortstop?
That's a good question.
Bring a glove. What did I not ask you that I should have asked you, Scott Tady?
Oh, I think we covered it pretty much all.
All right. I did. We were talking off the air. Did you mention something about the silver lining to the Pens elimination, or was that the band's actually getting to play?
Yeah, that's it. At least for the local music scene won't be hurting.
Last question. You're in charge of the Penguins. Who gets fired first?
After Ron Hextall, the general manager? I don't like the ownership. I'm already nostalgic for the days when Mario owned it. I mean, these people own, the Boston Red Sox and Liverpool? They own the Penguins? How much of a
focus can they put on the Penguins?
And they're called what, Fenway ownership?
The Fenway ownership. Here's the deal. When you don't make the playoffs, they will focus
Yeah, but true. They do want to make money. They do.
And Hextall, at this point, if I'm Ron Hextall, I'm stealing all the pins and legal pads I can before they walk me out.
There's already a conspiracy theory because he hates the Penguins that he's come here to sabotage
My
us.
conspiracy theory is, why in God's name did you hire a lunatic goalkeeper from Philadelphia to be in charge of anything?
Who chased Robbie Brown across the ice. Robbie Brown was dating Alyssa Milano. Come on.
And
That ties a lot into it.
that's, you salute that. You don't try and smack that.
I met her at PPG Paints Arena, Alyssa Milano, face to face.
That gives you hope, doesn't it? It's like, Robbie Brown's dating her? How? Oh, that's right. He's a pro hockey player. And was he the one that got the hair plugs?
Alleged.
I'm sorry, reportedly. Thank you for reporting, Scott Tady. I'm picturing Robbie Brown's hair plugs on Alyssa Milano now, and you just killed Who's the Boss for me. Good visit. See if this happens again.
Hi, this is Tom Young from First Consultants, Inc. Have you ever heard the phrase, you can't take it with you when you die? Of course you have. Believe it or not, nothing could be further from the truth. Everyone has economic, human